Yeah, very good morning, guys. Okay, so fine. Last session we have been talked about yeah configurations, all the configurations. Everything is ready. The only thing now left out is we just required to write the code, right? So I just shown you like what happens when you drag and drop the first object on the Word Designer. I explained you what happens when you add a table on the Word Designer. Every table you add on the Word Designer, we discussed like the 4 actions gets performed internally, right? What are the 4 actions? The first thing is, sorry, every table there are 3 actions. A class representing the, a class will be defined for you, representing the table. Second thing, the second thing is going to be column properties are defined representing the attributes. And also it will give you one property pluralized for your entity name. Pluralized for your entity name. If your entity name is student, students. If your entity name is employee, employees. And that is the table what you are required to use in your complete application for performing all the actions. Like selecting, inserting, updating, deleting. Whatever you do, everything is done by using that particular table only. Okay, that particular property only. And that is our table actually. So here are the steps here. When we drag and drop the first object, what happens? When we drag and drop a table, what happens? Are you clear? So these are the steps that are going to be performed for us. Now today, let's try to understand about how are we going to perform the CRUD operations now. How do we do the CRUD operations by using all these things? Now, I wanted to do like the selecting, inserting, updating, and the deleting operations, all these operations by using link now. I want to do the select, insert, update, and delete operations, all of them by using link. Okay, so to do this, the first thing what you're going to do is, you're going to write a class. You're going to write a class called as DAL class. That stands for Data Access Layer. Stands for what? Data Access Layer. And what are you going to do in the DAL class? In the DAL class, you will be writing all the methods first. You'll be writing all the methods first to perform the CRUD operations. And in this process, we'll take the help of our data context class. Data context class, model classes, all the classes what I explained yesterday, all these things are used for communicating with the database. Okay, let me show you so that you'll understand better. First, I'm not defining a controller, guys. I'm not creating any controller. I'm not creating any views. What I'm doing first is, first I'm going to implement the DAL class, the data access layer. Come on, watch it. In the models folder, let us add a class We'll name the class as student dal. Student dal. Student dal stands for student data access layer. Student dal is a new class what we are going to define it over. Is that clearer or not? Okay, so click on the add button. Okay. Now, what you're going to do now is, in this, you are going to write all the logic that is required for performing the current operations, like one method for inserting a record, one method for updating a record, one method for deleting the record, one method for selecting all records, and one method for selecting single record. Did you understand? Totally how many methods you are going to write now? 5 methods. One for selecting all records, one for selecting single record, one for insert, one for update, and one for delete. I hope you guys are clear. Okay, so this is what exactly we are just going to do now. Okay, so be careful. To do all these actions, we need a connection with the database first. Correct? And to connect with the database, your actions are very simple. No need any connection class and all these things. What you use is our data context class, what is defined yesterday. What is the name of the data context class, remember? MVC DB data context. MVC DB data context is the name of the class. Some name, context is equals to new. This class will completely take care of the connections and communications with the database. Just create the instance of the class that will do the rest of the things for you. Is it clear? Fine. What next? First, I want to write a method now for getting all the students. One day, you remember, can I bind a model object to your view? Can I bind a model object to your view? Can I bind a list of model objects to the view? I shown you that also now. List of customer. I shown you that also. So two things. I can bind a single model, or I can bind a list of model objects also to view. Correct? So I want to write a method that returns a list of model objects. What is model now? Student. The model is student now. Sir, do we require to define the model class? No need. Yesterday in your drag and drop, the class is defined already. Remember, earlier you have defined all these model classes manually. Customer class, employee class. Do you remember or not? But today no need to define the model class manually because the model class is already defined by the OR designer. OR designer created the model class for you already. So because the OR designer defined the model class, you can just use that model class directly. See, I am writing a method. And suppose if I say public string, what is that return type? What it returns? String. Same way, can I say public student? You can write a string, you can write student also. Student is there. Can I say public? Are you clear? So what is it going to return here? A list of students. Okay. Some name to the method. Any name you like. Get students. Okay. Public student, get students. Actually, when you are going to write this here, what will be the apt name for you? Suggestions are given. See, it is a field. Give the name as students in lowercase. If it is a property, give the name as students, Pascal case. If it is a method, did you understand how beautiful it was designed for you? It is a field, what name is suggested. If it is a property, what name will be apt. If it is a method, what name will be apt. All these you know, icons. So I'm choosing it as get students. Your choice, guys. Options I'm telling you, it has given. For this, I want to pass one parameter. What is the parameter? Remember, we are going to store some records into the student table now. We'll do that now. We're going to store some records into the student table. Okay, a set of records. Now, what I already taught in the C# classes for all of you. In the real-time environment, we don't physically delete records from the table. If at all you need to delete, we maintain one column in the table called status column. Remember, Boolean with a default value 1. If at all you want to delete, what you do is only change the status of that record to false. 1 indicates active record, 0 indicates inactive records. All the deleted records will be having the status value. So I want to write a method, and for this method I want a parameter. What is the parameter? Bool status. So what is it? It's a nullable value, correct? So my intention is, if I pass null there, it has to get all the students from the table. If I pass true there, it has to get me all the active students from the table. If I pass false there, it has to get all the inactive students from the table. Means the same method for fetching 3 different types of records. All records, all active records, all inactive records. Okay, now? So that is the signature of the method. What is the return type of the method, guys? A list. So because it returns a list, first create a list. Declare a list here. List of student. Okay, list of student. Just students. It is a field. Just giving a name like list of students, student. Oh, I'm just giving a name. Then I'm using a try block. Okay, I'm just going to use a try block now, and I'm writing the code. If status is not equal to null. If status is not equal to null. All of you, careful listen. Status not equal to null. What do you want? All the students. What do you want? All the students. If status is equals to not equal to null, I want all the students with the status value as a true or false. If status is equals to null, okay, I'll write the reverse. Is equals to null. I want to get all the students. I want to get all the students. How to get all the students? Watch it. How to get all the students, Students is equals to context dot. What did I say? There is a property for performing all the curl operations now. What is the property name? Do you remember? Students. Yesterday I said pluralization, person, people. Look, it will all create you with a very, very careful. Pluralized. If you are NT student, what is the name? That is only your. All of you carefully listen. Context is your context object connection. Students is the property, and this students property is defined in the context class. See what is the written type? It returns a table of students here. It returns a table of students. And all of you might be wondering, sir, we don't know what is this table, but we know list. List we learned in our C# about list. List of int, list of string, something, but we don't know what is a table. Don't know, na? No worries. Is that clear now? Converting into list. Dot to list, just like you call dot to string. There is a method called dot to list. What will happen? It will convert into list now. And all the values are assigned to students. And remember this here, the return type of the method is, now you got all the students now, return the students now, finish. Are you clear? But one more thing is left out. What is that? Else. Else what? Else basically you want all the records, or you just want active, inactive records? Because you want the records based on a status, correct? You want the records based on a status. So all of you carefully observe this. Students is equals to, then also list only, because 10 active students can be there, 10 inactive students can be there. Then also list only, not one. Correct? All students also should be a list. Active students also should be a list. Inactive students also should be list only. All are lists. Okay, students is equals to. Guys, observe this one. We need to write a query now to fetch the data. We need to write a query now to fetch the data. How? From yes in context dot students. From yes in context dot students, where yes dot status is equals to what? This status value should come here. Status is equals to status select s. So basically, this is a query. This is like a select statement what we just write in SQL. 11 o'clock students, maybe a little bit confusion with it, but today I'm going to teach you link over there how to write these particular queries. Just hold on. In 11 o'clock, I will teach you how to write these particular queries over there. I'll give you the syntax and all the things. But rest of the people who already are familiar with link are clear with this particular thing. Nothing here. You write a select statement now. How do you write a select statement? Select column names or select star from table name as alias name. Where condition correct? Array select went to last year. Select went to last. Your query start with from. Generally, you write table name as alias name. Here it is alias name in table. Alias name in table. Just a reverse. Where clause only. The select generally what you write in the first is coming in the last. What is yes sir? Select star. The yes indicates select star. Select star because we don't use stars or anything here. What do we say? Alias. Select s means select star. We are selecting all the records. If the select comes to the first, that's normal query, that's all. But this is a link query. Link queries are going to be a little bit different. The select will be in the last. The query starts with from. Okay? So this is going to fetch the data. Now finally, what you require to do here also is same. The whole query in the brace dot to list. Because again, remember the query returns a table. What it returns? Table. The table should be converted into list now, dot to list. When I do that, automatically the values comes into students. Okay. Now once you're done, finally what you say, return students. Did you understand me? You're returning the students. What is students? It's a list. Students is a list. That list is going to return back. Catch exception EX. If there is any error, catch that exception. Okay? And what you write here, throw EX. Sir, what is the throw EX, sir? Actually, this is a method you're writing in the models folder. Means this is all going to be business logic. This is all going to be business logic, or this is all going to be logic what we implemented. This method is called from the view. This method is called by the action method. This method is called by the action method. Tomorrow, end user talks with the action methods or end user talks with this particular method. Action method. End user doesn't talk with this method. End user talks with the action method. Action method will behind the screen call it. So this is executing in the background. If there is any error comes, that error should be thrown to the action so that action method knows that and shows to the end user. Understand? I am calling action method. Action method is calling get students method. Get students method executes in the background now. If error occurs, what to do? That is in the background. That is not the foreground. That is in the background. So what it has to do? It has to send that error details to action method. Action method should publish it to the end user. That is why what we write here? Throw. Throw na. Throw. What it will throw? It will throw the exception. What exception it caught? It will throw. Now that exception reaches to action method. Action method will now display you the error message to you. Am I clear? This is my first method what I'm defining. What is that? Get students. Same like this, can we write a method called as student? Get student. Get student. How many students? One student. One single student. What is the need of this? The second method, sir. I'll tell you. By using this method, I will display all the student records to you in a tabular format. 10 students are there. I'll show you all the 10. Now in that, one student you wanted to view now. One student details you want to view. Beside that record, I'm going to put a view button. Beside that record, I'll put a view button. When you click on the view, it will show the detailed information of that student now. Are you clearer or not? See, 10 students are there here. All 10 students will show in a tabular format to you, along with the photograph. But see, when I show big pictures there, what is the problem? Screen size will become bigger. I want to show only a thumbnail image there. Only a thumbnail image. When you click on the view button, it has to show you a complete detail. See, in Amazon, you search for products, product list will come. If you select something, another window will open, a big size image, details of that. That is what my plan is. So when you click on the view button, it has to show only one single student information. For that, I wanted to write a method called as get student. Is the point clearer? Public. The method return type is student. What is the app name now? Showing, see? Get student. Get student should be the app name. And for this get student here, I'm passing two parameters. If you want to get a single student, how do you get here? ID. And another parameter also I'm passing. What is that? Just now we talked about it. Bool status. Bool status. That can be nullable. But ID is mandatory parameter. See, ID is not nullable. ID is a mandatory parameter. Status is optional. Fine. So now, all of you carefully, when I just pass a student ID 101, for example, comma, true, it has to get me that record now. Are you clear? If I pass 102 and null, it has to get me 102 record. So three options I'll tell you. Watch it. 101 comma null. It has to get me the record irrespective of the status. Might be true, might be active, might be inactive. None of my business. I want to get it. But if I say 101 comma true, it has to get me the record only when the status is true. 101 false. It has to get me the record only when the status is false. Did you understand? In the first case, it has to get me the record irrespective of the status. Maybe true, maybe false. But here it has to get me only when it is true, and here it has to get me only when it is false. Are you clearer or not? So this is what exactly my plan is. Okay guys, let's write the code. So return type is student, right? Declaring student, student. Again, try. Again, if status is equals to null. Guys, understand now? Status null. Status null means irrespective of the status, you want to get the record, correct? Okay, all of you, watch it. Student is equals to from yes in context dot students where yes dot yes ID is equals to yes ID. Earlier you written yes dot status is equals to, now you are writing yes dot SID is equals to yes ID. Are you clearer or not? Okay, so you're just going to write the code. Select yes. What it returns you? Table of students. What it returns? But what do you want? Speak louder. You want only one student. Earlier, list of students. So I called it to list. When I call to list means multiple list of students. But here you don't want multiple. What you want is only one. What it fetches is also one only. But even though it fetches one, you will get it in a tabular format. See, I'll tell you in simple words. In SQL Server, you write select star from table name. It will show you all the records in a tabular format. You said select star from table name where primary key column is equals to. It returns you one record. But that one record also will be coming for you as a table only. Don't forget that point. One record is there now. Is it going to show without a table? One record also table only. N records also table only. Now it is going to fetch one record. But don't forget, you will get that record as a table. Are you clear? But do you want a table or you want a single recorder? Dot single. There is a direct method here. Dot single means it will pick that record and gives you as a student now. Put your mouse on that, it will tell you. Single, right? See the return type. One student. One single students. Are you clearer or not? Returns the only element of a sequence. Sequence is nothing but a list. Throws an exception if there is no exactly one element in the sequence. Means suppose that the query is fetching you multiple records, that method will throw error. And here we are very clear. This will fetch only one record because we are searching on the primary key. Primary key is always unique. No chance to get multiple records. Guarantee? Yes or not? Can I say where status is equals to true and dot single? Error comes. Why? Multiple records can match there. But when I use SID, there is no chance of fetching multiple records. There is a chance to fetch one and only one record. Okay, dot single. And once you do that, you are going to get the appropriate student record. Array, same, one more condition, one more statement here, else. Can anyone help me? Now I want based on ID and status also. Come on. Student. Same here, try, open the mouth. From yes in context dot students, where yes dot SID is equals to SID and yes dot status is equals to, that's all. Two conditions there. Next, select yes. Next dot. Sir, now you're using a status condition. Don't we get multiple records? No chance, because SID is also there. So there is no chance to return multiple records, correct? Finally, what you'll do? Return student. Return student. Catch. Exception EX. Throw EX. Any doubts with the two methods? Maybe you are a little bit confused on the query writing. Yeah, I said you that's just an SQL query, but select went to the last, that's all. First we write the from clause, last we write the select. Okay, I'll teach about query writing more in detail for the 11 o'clock students in the today's 11 o'clock batch. No worries, but other students know about this query writing already who completed the link. Singular default, can we use this also? Singular default, again you are telling. That is used when you are filtering hashes, not here. No need to create the instance of a list. Reason, array, what it returns is a list. When it returns a list, there is no need of creating an instance to the list. Singular default is used when you are performing a where clause. I'll show you later where we use singular default, Ashish. We'll just talk about it. Okay, guys. So these are the first two methods what I just implemented for you for fetching the record. Same way, I want to write a method for insert. What do you want to insert? Student. Array, what do you want to insert here? Student. I want to insert a student. Have a look. Public void add student. For this, I'm passing a parameter. What is the parameter? Student. I want to add a student now. Pass the student then. Are you clear? You're passing a student. Now, what to do? This student should be added to the list now, the table now. What is your table? Context dot. This is the table. Dot. Simple English here, insert. What is the method name? Insert is the method name. What are you passing? This will add the record. Listen, this will add the record to the table now. Where is the table? The table is in your application. Means basically this is going to add the record to the table in your application. Means it is a temporary state. I want to make the changes permanent. If you want to make the changes permanent, context dot submit changes. What is this? Listen, remember working with a data set? When you worked with a data set, recollect yourself. First you performed all your insert, update, delete operations on the local copy. Finally, you called the save and send the changes to database. Do you remember? Same process now also. First, you are going to add all the records to the local copy. This is called as a temporary state. Finally, you call submit changes. The changes will go to database. Until then, they won't go. Put your mouse on that. Read that. It adds an entity in a pending insert state. What is the pending? That's what you are temporary. If I don't call submit changes, changes are not saved to database. If I call submit changes, they will something like commit and rollback. Submit changes is like commit. Changes are going to database. If I don't call submit changes, it's like a rollback. Changes won't go to database. Maybe they are first done in the local copy, temporary state, pending state. That will be an apt word. Okay. So, you understand? That's all here. Nothing more, nothing. That's what I'm telling you. Pure object-oriented code. No need to write inserts, update, nothing. You're directly given a method. What is the method? Insert. Inserts the record to student. Call submit changes. Saves the changes to database. Catch. Exception EX, throw EX. Guys, same like this, you're required to write a method for update and delete also. First, we'll try this here. First, we will try this. Then we'll get a clarity about updates, deletes, and all the things. First, let us start from here. Am I clearer, everyone? Okay? Fine. Let's do one thing. Let us create a view for displaying all the student records. Every record means I want to get the output in a table format. I want to get the output in a table format. Carefully listen. The table should look like this. What? Student ID, name of the student. Okay. Afterwards, class. Yesterday we created one ID, name, class. After class, we have fees. Some 5,000. Photo, right? Guys, I'm just going to show you as a thumbnail, that's all. Just a thumbnail image, not a big image, a small image. Clearer? Status. Clearer? And photo thumbnail this is, that's all. Not photo thumbnail are not two separate things. Photo should be shown as thumbnail, that's all. Status. Afterwards, for every record, there should be a view button, edit button, delete button. So if there are 10 records, this is how I'm planning to show the output. Are you clearer or not? Understood all of you? Now the table contains how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. Array, totally 9 columns. Correct? We have 9 columns. Okay? Finally, in the last row, I want to merge all the 9 columns. I want to merge all the 9 columns into one column, and I want to show here add new student link. If I click on this, it has to open me a view for adding a new student. If I click on the view, it has to open a view displaying the complete student details. If I click on edit, it has to open me a view for editing that student. If I click on delete, it has to ask me a confirmation. Are you sure of deleting? If I say yes, that record should be deleted. Did you understand the plan of action? This is what we are going to do now. The query returns a list. The list is initialized from there, Santosh. See, I have a method, public string say hello. Okay, return hello world. What is the return type of the method? How do you call it? Tell me. String str is equals to, yes or not? Now this returns a string that comes into str. If suppose this method is returning a list of strings, how do you call now? List of string something str is equals to, that's all. If it returns a string, you declare a string variable. If it returns a list, you declare a list variable. Don't need to initialize the list again, because the return type of this is a list. The list will directly come into str now. Understood, Santosh? Instance of DB context is already created. I created instance of DB context on the first line only, see? Why do I create on the first line top? Because I want it to work my class. That's why I just gone for global. And using it in all the places. You need to write two more methods here, update and delete. In update, delete also you need this instance now. Already we used the instance in all the three methods. We need in the remaining two methods also. Okay. Now, the next thing we'll do is, let's write a controller code. Array, controller, action method, views, all these particular things is going to the next work now. So let us create a controller, all of us. Controllers, add a controller. We'll name it as a student controller. Student controller. Add student doesn't have close brace, huh? Oh, thank you. I missed it. Thank you, man. Okay. Now, guys, you want to use the models here? Array, always remember, you're required to import the model namespace. What's the model namespace? Hey, the namespace name is exactly same here, controllers, models. Now in the model, you defined one data access layer class now. Tell me, create the instance of that class here. Which class? Student dal. Okay, my first action method, public view result. Okay. Display students. Recollect yourself, one day you written a method called display customers, created 6 customer instances, taken a list, added all to the list and send the list to the view, right? Tell me, today the same story, watch it. List of students is equals to obj dot. Now see the difference now. What is the difference now? The difference is you are going to say, I'm writing true. True indicates active students. So now you're going to write this. This will return the students now. Now we don't create the students manually. How many will you create? You have 1000 records will be in the table. Will you create 1000 instances now? See now, the method will return you. So directly what to do? Return view and pass the students there. Finish. The same thing I shown you manual code earlier, created One customer, second customer, third customer, fourth customer, fifth, sixth customers. After creating all the customers, I added all the customers into one list. Send to that particular view to the list. If you want to go ahead and verify, I explained the concept in the partial views class one day. Created 6 customers along with images also I shown you. Correct? But they're manual. But this is from database. Understood? Now all of you, I'll show you simple shortcuts of writing the code. Watch. What this method returns? List. What it returns? And that is captured in students and you're passing it here, correct? Array, without creating this list, passing it here, all this stuff. Directly you can write it here. Over na. Get students returns a list and that is passed to the view. Finish. Now the view code, see the action method code is very simple, see. All the business logic will be present in the model. That's what, all the business logic will be in the model class. Here, that's a simple logic what we are going to implement here. Okay, same like that, let's write one method for single student also. For a single student, what shall I name? Public view result. Shall I call it as display student? For this display student, I'm passing one parameter. What is the parameter? SID. Only SID. And now again, same story. Student is equals to obj dot get student. Get student return single student only. Get students, multiple students. Get student, single student. Needs 2 parameters. One is SID. Second one is a status, and that is fixed. That is static value only, guys. What is that? True. I want active students only. Okay. Next, return view. Return view what? Return view student. Can I write in a single line? How to write? Return view obj dot get student SID comma true. So you can directly write simple English here. See, you're assigning this to this and writing it here. Correct na? What did you assign to this? This one only na? Then you can write this only here. Why to create that unnecessary student waste na? Are you using it there? If you use there, declare it. You're not using, anyhow you're passing to view. Directly in that only you can write down. Okay na? Shall I create a view for display student now? Okay? Come on, let's see. For display student, I'm going to create a view. Right click. Add view. Add. If you want to choose here. Empty. What is the model class? Student. Model class is student. Are you clear? The model class what you are using is a student. Student is the model class what you are selecting in this particular place. Okay. I am choosing a layout, guys. Click on the add button. Already that statement is implemented on the top. But recollect yourself. Are you getting one student or list of students? Louder. On that day to pass list of students, what did I use? List of. Or one more thing I said, you remember, you can use the parent of the list. What is it? I enumerable. What is that? I enumerable. Anything is okay. But generally, in the real time when you see, they use the parent, I enumerable. Tomorrow, the reason is, if I pass a list also it works. If I pass a dictionary also it works. If I pass a table also it works. To make it work for any list, they will use that concept. Any collection, they will use it. What will they use is a parent. Like what? I enumerable. What is that they use? I enumerable. I enumerable, and they will pass on the list of the things over there. So now what will come here? The list will come here. What to do? What to do? Show them now. Show them in the table format. You're getting the list now. show that in a tabular format now. Okay. Just view designing, guys. HTML code, you know, HTML code. I don't require to give you an explanation. So just hold on a second. I will show you how to write. First, I'm using a H2 element here. Writing some style code here. Student details. Okay, na? Writing some style code. Student details. Okay. What next? What next? I want a table now. Table. Border is equals to 1. Align center. Table condensed. What is that? The bootstrap class. Sir, where are you using bootstrap? No need. Why? Already I used the layout. Array, already I used the layout. And your layout already has bootstrap. Your layout already has bootstrap. Because the layout already has a bootstrap, you don't require to again use bootstrap in this. If you want, go and see in the layout page. Content.css, that's a bootstrap or that bundling. It's a bootstrap bundle. Already bootstrap is available there. So no need of going for using bootstrap separately again in this. Okay. So directly you can just use a bootstrap class. Okay, done. What next? I want to show all the data record by record. Correct. But first tell me, first row is fixed there. Array, first row doesn't repeat one time only. Correct? What is first row? Header row. Column names here. Header row. What is that? Column names. So watch the column names. TR. First column. TD. @HTML dot display name for. Remember this? Display name for. Okay. Yes. Yes. Dot. Yes side. Yes dot. Yes side. Guys, there's a column names now. TH, not TD. TH. Right? Display name for. Will it show you the column names to you there? Correct. Next. Second one. Name. What next? Class. Next. Face. Next. Photo. Next. Status. Status. Okay, we'll do one thing here. I'll not show the status here. Status, let's hide. Because user never directly deals with the status. User never directly deals with the status. Let us hide the status from the user. Array, the status, I just want to hide from the user. User directly never deals with the status. Why? What I show is only active records to user. So let us hide the status from the user. I did not even show that. Okay, how many columns? Not 8 columns here. I want to show these 3 in one column only. I want to show all these 3 in one column here. Possible, huh? So how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. 5 columns are already there. Sorry, 5 columns are already there. 6th column. What is the 6th column? The 6th column is actions. Under actions, all these 3 will come. What? View, edit, delete. All these 3 in one single column. Okay, now? This header row will be one time only, right? Correct. So I just designed it. Now run. Right now, there's no point of any data loading or anything here. Just what it shows is only the table structure, that's all. Below that, what you want? Data rows. One row or multiple rows? Then use a for each loop and loop now. Use a loop and loop it now. You just require to go for looping the records. Okay, guys, have a look. My second row now. I'm just going to my second row. How? At the rate for each student, correct? How do you write for each student? Complete name. Student in model. Now model is single student or model is a list of students. For each student from the list of students. But lengthy na. Array, name, space, name and all. A simple shortcut. Where? Use where there. For each student in model. What will happen? One by one student is picked out. Okay? Now, in this, row should be looped now. So what should I write here? tr td at the rate html dot display for. At the rate html dot display for. Yes, lambda expression. You cannot directly write yes dot sid here. You are picking from each student, remember. So what you should write here? Student dot sid. One by one student will come. Student dot sid. Now repeat the same for all now. Second one, what is the second one? Name. Third one, class. Fourth one, piece. Fifth one is a photo, correct? Okay. TD, not display for. I want an image. I want image. Okay, na? IMG. SRC is equals to. Yeah, the image, I require to write the image from where it has to be loaded. I'll tell you how to write. Width is equals to, I don't want to display a big size image here. Some width is equals to some 40. Height is equals to 25 pixels. Alternate text is equals to no image. You know alternate text na? If the image is not loaded, what to show? No image. Show me? No image. Now here what should come? The path of the image should come. Array, where is the image? Image is what you require to provide in insert. In insert, you require to select one image now. Are you clear? And I want to store all the images in one folder called as uploads. I'll create it. Array, one day we created images folder and done na? Same way I want a folder called uploads. We are going to create the folder here. I want to take from that uploads folder slash folder name uploads slash at the rate, okay, watch it, at the rate student dot photo. What is at the rate student? Array, this one here. At the rate student dot photo. You're picking the photo from there. At the rate student not photo. This has to publish the photo to you. Okay? Another column. TD. What do you want? 3 links. Array, you want 3 links now. What are 3? View, edit, delete. At the rate HTML dot action link. What is the text you want? View. On the click of it, which method should be called? Display student. Which controller? No need. Controller name no need. Controller name no need. But what is the route value? Yes, yeah. When you click on view, which student you should tell na? What should I pass? SID. I should pass the SID. So SID should be passed as a route parameter here. How to pass? New. Open the curly brace and write what? SID is equals to student dot SID. Student dot SID. So this is going to show you a view link. Same like that, Three links, guys. What is the second one? Third one? Delete. Edit should show you. Edit student. Delete should show you. We still did not write these methods here. We will write them. Hold on. Just I'm preparing the things, that's all. For edit also, ID is mandatory. For delete also, ID is mandatory. For querying a single record, for updating and deleting are all the things, ID is mandatory. Correct? ID is mandatory. But one thing remember, when you are deleting, are you going to delete without any confirmation? I need a confirmation here. What confirmation you want? Are you sure of deleting this record? Are you sure of deleting the record? See guys, there is an overload. I've already shown you this, remember? Read only, class and all the attributes. I can write code now. New HTML code I'm writing. What's it? On click is equals to, I'm writing an on click event for this hyperlink now. HTML on click, not C# or anything. It is HTML on click. You learned JavaScript now. On click is equals to, what on click is equals to? Return. A JavaScript code here. How do you write, Return. Confirm. Are you sure of deleting the record? Are you sure of deleting the record? So what happens? A JavaScript confirm window will come and will ask you, are you sure of deleting? With the two buttons on it, OK and cancel. When I click OK, it returns a true. When I click cancel, it returns false. Did your JavaScript teacher teach you? On click is equals to return true, will submit the page to server. On click is equals to return false, will not submit the page to server. Did you get my point? In JavaScript, whether you thought or not, I don't know, but that is the behavior of on click. On click is equals to, it's a return true, page is submitted to server. On click is equals to return false, page is not submitted to server. I hope it is clearer. So this will show you all the links that you are expecting over there. All the links that you are expecting at that place now. Yeah, done. What next? By TD? Yeah, by TD is already there. By TR. Yeah, this is going to show you all the data rows. Correct? Finally, after all the records are looped, finally, another TR, TD, call span is equals to 6. I'm merging all the 6. Align is equals to center. Align equal to center. And here I'm writing @HTML dot action link. What here? Add new student. It's for adding a new student. And for this you need a method, guys. What method? Right, just like display student, edit student, delete student, I'll write add student method. I'll write a add student method. Add student. Okay. So action link, add student. Oh, wrong. Yeah. Add student. By TD, by TR. Run the code and watch the full output now. Any records in the table now? Tell me. No records now, because there are no records. It will show only 2 rows. Header row, footer row. Footer row with add new student. That's all. Now when I click on add student, what should happen? Should open a view for adding a new student now. Correct? Should open a view for adding a new student. See, add student is throwing an error. Why? You did not write the add student method. Shall I go to controller? HTTP get public view result add student. HTTP post public redirect to route result, add student. Remember, the second method requires a parameter. You learned already. Get and post requires a parameter. What is parameter? Model. What is model? Student. So you're passing the student. What do you write here? Array, launch the empty view. Launch the empty view in this particular case. The empty view has to be launched there. Second, the second one is to insert the student, correct? So now the student will come from the view. The student will come from the view. Earlier, what did you do? Return view and you displayed in the new view. That's all. But now today you want to insert. You want to context dot. Sorry, not context dot. Obj dot. You return a method, remember? Add student. What it takes? Student. The student what the model has sent to you, pass it to the DAL class. What DAL class will do? DAL class will add to the table and saves it to the database. I will debug and show you. Don't worry. Okay. Once the student is added, what I'm doing, return redirect to action. Can you understand what I'm doing? Array, once the student is added, again, so display students, all students records should come up back now. Okay? We will debug here. Every line will debug and understand about this. When I'm writing the code, a little bit confusion will be there. So I'll debug and show you. No worries. First, let us create a view for add student. Right click, add view. Empty student. Let's create a view for adding a student here. Look, first, one header row. Student details. What do you want now? Form tag. Form tag. Using HTML dot begin form. HTML dot begin form. And in the HTML dot begin form now, what you require to do? You just require to write the code for designing a form now. Okay. So let me design a form. Here. Guys, when you're designing a form here, put this in the mind. What is that? The form requires some set of text boxes here. And also one file upload control. File HTML input type is equals to file. You learned in HTML classes. You can select a file. I want that. Okay now? Well, actually, I'm going to create a view. Creating this you already know now. No, I don't want to waste the time there. Just a minute. Watch it. Did you understand what did I do? Explained this already. One label, one text box. One label and text box for entering what? SID. Same way, can I create multiple text boxes for each and everything now? What next? Name. This is for name. What next? Class and fees. Guys, because I explained this, I'm copy pasting. I already explained all these things to you. Oh, this went off outside. Just a minute here. This went off outside. What next? The next one is photo, correct? Okay, watch. Div @HTML dot label for yes dot photo, yes dot photo. Guys, listen to me. What do you want now? I want one input control for selecting a photograph. Input type is equals to file. Input type is equals to file. And don't forget here, to read this control value, every control requires a name. Name is equals to some name. I am writing the name as selected file. Remember, you require to use this name in your code, basically selected file. So what will this show you? One input text box. You can click and select a file now. You can click and select a file. Okay, what next? Array, place two buttons here. Submit button, reset button. After opening the button, if you decided not to add, I want a backlink, where it should take display students. Array, it has to take to display students, a backlink that takes to display students. Back to display students. So now, first what you run, display students is what you run first. Run this. I'm not done here. We need to write the logic still. Where in the post method we did not write anything. We'll talk about it. Click on. Are you clear? I decided not to add. Back. I hope you guys are clear. Now tell me, if I enter 101, some name, Scott, class, 5th class, fees, some 50,000. Now choose file. I selected image. Click on save. Should save the data to database. Correct? Earlier also we done this type of views, remember? But earlier when we click on this button, another views launched and showed me the record, that's all. But today your intention is to make the changes permanent. All the changes should be saved to database. I hope it is clear. All the changes should be saved to database. That's what should be done. Okay. Well, guys, I'll tell you. Why I did not click on the save, because already in the controller you have written the code. No, sir. No, it is not done. Why? First thing, listen. In the form action, I'm just going to add some few things in the form action. When you click on this, where it has to go? Add student. Which controller? Student controller. What type of mechanism? Post. Are you clear with the 3 attributes? Even I have doubt here. Sir, even though I don't write also, it works now default. Yes, it works. But actually, why I'm writing all these factor things is because now you're required to use a 4th attribute now. There's an overload that takes all the 4 parameters. What is that 4th attribute? HTML attributes. Did your teacher teach you this? What is that in HTML? If at all you want to upload images to the server, you're required to use an attribute called as encryption type. You're required to use an attribute called as ENC type. Encryption type is what we call. ENC type is equals to, you're required to specify the encryption type for uploading images to server. Did you understand me? In HTML, that is not the MVC or something, that is HTML. You're required to specify a encryption type. What is the encryption type? Multi-part hyphen form data. Multi-part hyphen form data. ENC type HTML. If you Google it, it'll tell you HTML form encryption type attribute will be there. So multi-part form data. So generally we just use this particular thing whenever you just want to upload any images or anything. This basically files here, most probably files. This value is necessary if the user will upload a file through. You want to upload a file through a form now? This is mandatory. If I don't write, the file won't come. If you don't write, the file won't go to server. Understood my point? That is a mandatory attribute. I need to add that encryption type. Okay guys, I'm ready with all these things now. So I'm not still going to insert. I'll put a breakpoint. Okay, let's start with display students. Yes, that's like an encoding type. Add new student. 101. Class 5. Fees 50,000. Choose file. Click on. All of you observe. The value should come here, except tell me fast. CIR, all the properties are present on the top only now. Watch them. What did not come? Photo, status. Status did not come. Status is coming. No. Status is taking default value false there. That's all. Status is not going to come there. Actually, what should go to table is true. What should go to the table is true. Okay. Photo is not coming. Why is our photo is not coming? Because for photo, did you use any HTML helper? Did you use any HTML helper? You used the normal HTML control, and photo won't come directly like this. To receive the photo, your action method should take a parameter again. Your action method should take a parameter. What is that is? Posted file or something here. HTTP posted file base selected file. What is this selected file, sir? This selected file is the name of what you are given here. The selected file is nothing but the name what you are given there. What is the name you are given there? See, selected file. That is the same name what I am using up here. Selected file. This name should exactly match with this name so that the value will come here. Now again, once again, watch. Guys, today is Saturday. Just give me the liberty to teach till 9, guys. So add student, fill in the details. Choose file. Save. Well, breakpoint here. The data won't save. All of you, watch. Got it? That posted file base is a class. That class will provide the complete information of the file. Watch it, content length. Watch there. content type, file name, all information. Input stream, what is the input stream here? Tomorrow, if you want to convert this image into byte array, in C#, I thought you remember, we use that input stream. Are you clearer? Okay, so that's what. So these are the attributes what we have in this class. Which class? HTTP posted file base. So shall I save it to the database now? Tell me. And if at all you want to save this to the database, first the file should be saved on your hard disk. First the file should be saved on your hard disk. Where should I save, sir? In the hard disk you require to save the file first. Otherwise next time where will you get from? User selected a file here. That file should be saved on the hard disk first. After saving on the hard disk only, you can continue your particular process. First the data should be saved to hard disk. When if the file is available, watch it. If selected file not equal to null means user selected a file. If user did not select a file, null will come. User selected a file. Is it a guarantee like everyone has to select an image? No, I did not select an image. Then it is null. If it is not equal to null, all of you, careful, watch. Not equal to null. I wanted to save the file in a folder. Which folder? Uploads folder. So first I want to verify. What I want to verify, is the folder available or not? Is the folder available or not? How do you verify? Watch it. Server dot map path and give the virtual path of the folder. Where you want, under the project I want the folder called uploads. Virtual path. Remember virtual path? Refers to project folder. Under that, uploads. The project folder uploads. So when I use this one, server.map path and pass the virtual path, now it will get you physical path now. What will get you? Physical path means E drive, MVC 7, MVC with link 1, MVC with link 1, under that uploads. That is a complete physical path. I don't require to type. Simply if I write like this, I'll get the physical path now. See what I'm doing? String physical path is equals to. Now I want to verify this is existing or not. How do you verify? There is a predefined class called as a directory. What is the class name? Directory. Actually it is in the namespace system.io. We should import it. You should import it. Remember the simplest way to import a class? Import a namespace. Right click, quick actions and refactorings, and here you will, the left hand side will show you the namespace name. Click on it. It will write to you automatically. Directory dot, simple English, exists what? Pass the path. If it is existing, it returns true. If not existing, it returns false. Now see what I'm writing. If not exists. Can you understand this? Array, if not exists, what did I write? If not exists, what to do? Create it. If exists, don't do anything here. If not exists, create it. How to create? All simple English here. Can you understand the code? First I'm checking folder existing or not existing. Existing. Okay, fine. Then what you'll do? Directly use it. Not existing. Then create it. Once the folder is created, now what you do, selected file dot save as. Save it. Where to save? Physical path plus physical path, folder path and file name. I'm concatenating both the two things, saving it in the folder now. And when you save a file, you give the complete path now. Saving and giving the complete path of the file now. And all this logic executes only when a file is selected. Are you clear? Lastly, See, do you remember the student model misses two values. What are the two values? Photo status, correct? Yes or not? Missing the two values. What are the two values? Photo and the status. So student dot photo is equals to file name. Student dot status is equals to true. I'm done, guys. I'm putting a breakpoint on the top. Now we are going to save the record. Watch. There is a breakpoint still. Oh, somewhere error. Semicolon missing somewhere. Where we missed it? Oh, here. Yeah. I'm not using any rest sharp or anything here. That's all. How many images you upload, that many number of things you should pass. Display students. Add new student. Scott, class 5. Now we are going to make all our changes permanent, guys. Choose file. Save. All of you observe. First look at the models here. Student. What it contains? Class is there, fees is there, name is there, photo is missing, SID is there, status is false, but what we want is true. Status is false, but what we want is true. Okay, fine. Where are the photos are? Photo is here. See here we say file name, see? Are you clear? File name. So this is the file name. Now, is an image selected or not selected? Tell me. Image is selected, right? Why not selected here? We selected image now. Image is selected. So condition is true. Not equal to null comes inside. Now finds the path of the uploads folder. Guys, first time not existing. All of you put your mouse, you'll see the physical path of the folder. That is what server.map path will do. Will return your physical path when given the virtual path. Okay now? Now, not existing. Carefully. Next time onwards, this won't happen. First time only it will create. Come inside. Create. Folder created. Now, save the file. Just a minute. I did not still save the file. Let's go and verify. Is a folder created or not? E drive. What's the folder? MVC7. Link. MVC with link 1. MVC with link 1. Check it out. You should have the uploads folder created. Just you can check the date and time when it got created just now. Is it clearer? Okay, guys, created. What next? Save. Oh, the folder is empty, see? Now, let me go step over. Saved. Okay, now? Now, see. Your student or your model object is missing the two attributes we already know. What is that? Photo and status. I am assigning these two now. See? Now see, your model has all 6 attributes. Got it? All 6 are present. You're passing it to add student. F11. Hit F11. Come on, let's come here. Now all the values are in the student. Watch. Okay, now all values are in the student. F10. Now adding it to the table, saving the changes. No error, right? Comes back. Afterwards, you are calling display students. Got it. Is that clear? So quickly let us insert one more record without a photograph. Without a photograph. Okay, now add a new student. 102. Smith. Class 5. Fees 50,000. No photograph. Save. And you guys watch. It won't go to the if condition now because selected value is null. Is it clear? Selected value is null. So directly it comes here, and what will go? Oh, I missed it here. This statement should be inside. Sorry guys. This statement should be inside the if condition. No finding him na. So should be inside the if condition. I'm sorry. Add student 102 Smith, class is 50,000. Save. Yeah, not going inside. Assigning true. Guys, photo is missing. Check. Okay na? F11. Submit. Alternate text I used there. Clear? And you see now, here to display this image here, what did I write? SRC is equals to, watch it, uploads folder. Student.photo. Student.photo contains what? Name of the image. And I'm giving the path now. Uploads, image name. What is saved in the database? Image name. You will have it out here. Sir, in C# you stored byte array. That is a desktop application. This is a web application. In web application, images will be on the server. All clients contacts the server. So everyone can access the image on the server. But desktop application is not like that. You install desktop application and 10 computers, you'll have one server, a database server. Application is the database server. From there, image should come directly. Tomorrow, if I save image on the hard disk on my computer, why will it reflect to you? Desktop applications are different. Remember, in desktop application, every client is individual. 100 clients connecting to one database. If I save an image on my computer, will it show to you? But web applications are different. All the 100 clients will first connect to one web server. Web server will connect to database. When the image is on the web server, you upload an image, I can access that image now. Understood my point? That is the reason why I did not convert into binary format and save it in the database. What did I save is only the name of the image. What went to the database table, you know? Image1.jpg, that's all. It is not going to take the path also. What it takes? Image1.jpg. That's what I saved in the database. That's it. Are you clear? Update and delete, don't touch guys. View also I did not do. What I shown you? Two things only. One is display, one is add. What is pending? View is pending. And now when I click on the view button, it should show me a big image with all the details of the appropriate student. When I click on edit, it should open me a view for editing the record. If I click on delete, already we have written a confirmation code. Remember that? That confirmation code should just go for performing that action. See here? View. Right now you won't get because we did not create the view. Edit. Delete. See delete? Asking, see? Suppose guys, if I click on cancel, nothing will happen, see? Why? Page is not submitted to server. But if I click on OK, I'll get error. Why we did not write the action method? But understand, going to server. OK, cancel. Is it clear? Okay, so next session, I'll show you all these three things. View, edit, and delete. Spelling mistake here. Huh? Okay, I'll correct it. View, edit, and delete. I'll show you all in the next session. Okay, practice these things first. Let's stop here. Sir, not getting why we created empty view action HTTP get before redirect to route method. Array, one is get and one is post method here. Just a minute. Shall we, sir, we cannot use Model.photo in the view. No man, you record the path of the image there. Model.photo doesn't contain the path. Model.photo contains only name of the image. That's why I did not use it. Next, if you have 5 photos to upload in my form, do I need to pass 5 parameters? Exactly. Exactly, Dinesh. At a time, if you select 5 parameters won't come, array. It will take in the array format. Shubham, are you using REST sharper? No, I'm not using. I did not use any REST sharper. Zip file of MEC link project in Google Classroom. No, I won't provide Sagar. I want you to write the code. I want you to write the code. How DB connect using in DAL from web.config. When I create the data context class instance, Vaibhav, when I create the data context class instance, it will read the connection string from the config file and establishes a connection with the database. When I create the instance of the data context, it will connect to the database. It will connect to the config, reads the connection string, and after reading the connection string, it will connect to the database. Not getting why we created empty result. Amog, you missed the earlier classes, sir. I very clearly said about the 2 methods. One is a get method, one is a post method. And now you're asking what is the use of the 2 methods. Photo save in database. Sir, a photo is not saved in the database, Elias. I saved only the name of the photo in the database. I only saved the name of the photo in the database. I did not save the photo in the database. I'll show you. Have a look. The photo is not saved in the database. We only saved the photo name in the database. You can see here. Select star from student. Only the name, not the photo. Sir, what is 3-tier application? MVC 3-tier. MVC is a 3-tier. All web applications are 3-tier. Why you're talking lambda expressions and queries here? We'll talk later. Can you please upload all the demo solutions in common location, share path? No, I'm not going to do that, Sada. I want you people to do that. Now I don't want copy paste. Everything step-by-step process I shown you. I want everyone to write the code. I want upload. No login tools are covered, Shubham. Can we view display student instead redirect to route result? No. You require to call the action method. The view doesn't have the data. See, when you can use display student, provided the view has data, the view doesn't have the data. The view required to connect to database and load the data. That is why you require to call the action method. Action method will load the data and submit to the view. You cannot do this view. Dinesh. Why not student is equals to new student? If you create a student, you will get empty student. What will you do with empty student? You want a student with values, not empty student, no? As we saved only image and public app, how image will render to end user. Public image, see, when I just used it, I'm using the path of the image in my application. So it renders to every user. These are web applications. Everyone will connect to web server first. Because they connect to the web server, from the web server, the image will be loaded for them. You don't require to worry about that. We can store it. We'll see that also in the later sessions. Ashish. Image also can be stored in the database. I'll show you that also in the later. Disconnected Janardhan. Editor for text box and editor for text box and editor. Both you typed both the same only. See Ratnakumari. Yeah. Basically, web application will be on one server. Database will be on another server. Web application will be on one server, database will be on another server. Maybe both can be on the same server also, but generally we'll be having separate servers. Kalyan, I cannot do that. That's not in my hands. Talk with your admins. Emma? No, they will be storing in a different server, Shubham. Same server, only different location. Editor for will create you a control based on the data type. If the data type is Boolean, it will create a checkbox. If the data type is string, it will create a text box. If the data type is password, it will create a password text box. Based on the data type of your column, it is going to create a control for you. That is what editor for is. Yes, you can use. SQL authentication, SQL లేదా? Yes, Ashish. Going forward, we'll learn that also. కదా. SQL authentication పని చేయట్లేదా? Enable aperture. Yeah. Failed. Activate చేసాం కదా. Password policy, what's password expiration? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Cannot connect. Something wrong with this. Skill. Slash Divya is the user. Username Divya. ఇది మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ యూజర్ నేమా?